Florida Governor Ron DeSantis just pulled off what is perhaps the most ingenious political move ever, shipping a group of 50 illegal aliens, who the liberal media calls migrants, who were relocated to Florida after they invaded America through our southern border. He shipped them off to Martha's Vineyard, which is an exclusive island community in the Northwest in Cape Cod off the coast of Massachusetts, whose most famous resident, perhaps, is Barack Obama, who lives in his $12 million estate there. Since the Democrat governors, mayors, and district attorneys have all declared their cities and states to be sanctuaries for the illegals, and they won't work with the federal government in order to detain or deport any illegal aliens, you would think that the Democrats and the liberal media would be thrilled about the diversity in Martha's Vineyard now, but instead, they're quite upset about it.
At some point in time, they have to move from here to somewhere else, right? We don't have the services to take care of 50 immigrants, and we certainly don't have housing. We're in a housing crisis as we are on this island, and so we can't house everyone here that lives here and works here. We don't have housing for 50 more people.
What do you mean you can't handle them? There are literally hundreds of empty Airbnb rentals now that summer is over. Not to mention plenty of extra room in all those beachfront mansions.
And all those people in D.C. and New York were beating their chests when Trump was president, saying they were so proud to be sanctuary jurisdictions, saying how bad it was to have a secure border. The minute even a small fraction of what those border towns deal with every day is brought to their front door, they all of a sudden go berserk. And they're so upset that this is happening. And it just shows you, their virtue signaling is a fraud.
What's even funnier is just a few days ago, Kamala Harris had this to say about the southern border.
You're confident this border's secure?
We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration. But there are still a lot of problems that we are trying to fix, given the deterioration that happened over the last 4 years.
The border's secure, she says, as 2 million illegal aliens have entered this country in the last year alone. That is over 5,000 every single day.
Border Patrol saying that they've been completely overwhelmed in the city and as a result have had to release over 1,000 migrants onto the streets. Many of these migrants are coming from Venezuela and, as you can see, have been living in tents underneath overpasses.
There are over 20 million illegal aliens in the United States right now. Actually, that's an old figure. It's probably up to 25 million by now. And because the New World Order is almost complete, some are finally admitting the obvious now that because of the massive influx of illegals, that white people are now a minority in the state of Texas. It's been like that for many, many years in California, also New Mexico and Hawaii, and the way that it's tracking soon, Georgia, Nevada, and Maryland will be the next states where white people are minorities. And the lies are getting so bad from the government that old Joe's new spokeswoman, Karine Jean-Pierre, the black lesbian immigrant affirmative action hire, is saying that the Democrats have done more to secure the border than the Republicans.
Administration, which largely just tried to build a wall, an ineffective wall, along the border and couldn't even finish that in 4 years. We're certainly doing a lot more to secure the border and could be doing even more if Republicans would stop their obstruction. That's it. I'm going to just take one last...
I'm sure I don't need to remind you that during the Trump administration, the Democrats did everything that they could to block funding so that Trump couldn't finish the wall, including suing him when he decided to try to divert some of the funds from the military budget after they wouldn't authorize it through other funds, all while denying that there was even a problem at the southern border at all.
We're not going to build a wall that is a monument to hate and division. That's what that's really about. That's not about border security. The security issue that he's raising, this emergency at the border, is fake.
A monument to hate. And many of them want to tear down the wall.
We know that walls do not save lives. Walls end lives.
Would you, if you could, would you take the wall down now? Here.
Yes.
Like you have a wall.
Absolutely.
Knock it down.
I'd take the wall down.
And do you think if there's a referendum here in this city, that would pass? I do.
And when MSNBC was reporting on this new strategy, which I believe was first deployed by Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who began shipping the illegals into Chicago and then Washington, D.C., you'll never guess who just happened to be there to troll them live on the air.
Since April, delivering by bus these migrants to Washington, D.C. And this morning, 101 men, women, and children were dropped off right here. And Governor Greg Abbott has taken credit. Yasmin, I'm going to send this back to you right now.
Yeah, Gary, I know you got a little bit of a...
That's Alex Stein, by the way. It's a little hard to hear. The audio wasn't that great, but he was saying, bring more migrants here. And he has been everywhere. He's become quite a star recently, as you probably know. In fact, last week he was here in San Diego, but since there weren't any city council meetings scheduled, we just decided to meet up and have lunch instead. Now, instead of the Democrats being thrilled about the diversity that Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott are helping bring their communities, they're literally calling for a criminal investigation to be launched into them for human trafficking. You know, I never thought I would see the day when Democrats had come out against illegal aliens, so maybe there still is hope for America after all. And be sure to order your Ultra MAGA shirt from my online store at markdice.com, or click the link in the description below, or my new Nuclear MAGA shirt, or the classic Liberalism Find a Cure shirt, or any of my awesome designs, all available in a t-shirt, long sleeve, and a hoodie, and a whole bunch of different colors as well. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check them out.